Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and if you haven't hit subscribe already, please do so you can keep up with the latest videos. So this video is a very simple video about the difference between acceptance and tolerance. Now the reason why I'm explaining this is because when you start meditating, a lot of the times you think you've accepted something, but really and truly you're only tolerating it. Now, I will explain this difference in a bit more detail. So, the first difference between acceptance and tolerance is that acceptance feels and looks the same on the outside and the inside. What I mean by this is that when you accept something, firstly, you don't have any response or reaction to it on the outside in your external world, but you don't have any reaction or response to it in the internal world. What I mean by this is accepting something means that it doesn't affect you emotionally or mentally or physically. Whereas when you're tolerating something, it feels like, you're in a cage. It feels like on the outside, you're not responding to it. So you're just tolerating this feeling and you're not responding to it on the outside, and you're thinking or you're trying to loathe yourself into believing that you have accepted it, but you're only tolerating it. And what I mean by this is that when you think you've accepted something, but you really haven't accepted it, and on the inside, it's really eating you away. And that's the difference between acceptance and tolerance. That's the first major difference. Now, the reason why this particular difference is very important in mindfulness meditation is because when you start meditating, a lot of the negative things do rise in your body. So when you do a body scan technique or when you're even observing your breath, you have a lot of negative thoughts and feelings that rise and you observe them. And when you're observing them, they become very intense. And once they become intense, you start tolerating them. And you tolerate them till they pass. And once they've passed, you've accepted it and you've let it go. And then that thought will never come back, or that emotion will never come back. And that's when you know you've completely and fully accepted something, because you've let go of it emotionally and mentally. So it doesn't bother you emotionally, it doesn't bother you mentally. So that's the first difference between acceptance and tolerance. The second difference is that tolerance always comes before acceptance. So tolerance is like acknowledging what is annoying for you or what is negative, what is a negative experience for you. So you're aware of what is negative, but it still bothers you, so it's not in your control. You know it, that it still bothers you. You kind of try and do different things to get rid of that feeling, but it still doesn't go away. It still bothers you. It's still in your thoughts, and you still feel awful about this particular thing, and that you're aware that is a negative experience. So tolerance always comes before acceptance. And once you start tolerating it, what you need to do is go internally. You need to go within yourself. You need to go deep into a meditative state and start tolerating it on an internal level. And the more you are expanding your awareness of that feeling in your body or in your mind, or just observing that thought, the more you're allowing yourself to build resilience towards it. Now, resilience doesn't mean that you're resisting the fact that this particular thing is making you feel that negative emotion, or kind of bringing up all these negative thoughts. What resilience means is that you're allowing your awareness to expand without actually rejecting it at one point. Because when negative thoughts do expand in your body and your mind, and that negative emotion rises in your body, it becomes very difficult to not reject it and to just keep being aware of it without being attached to it, and without rejecting it and moving on to another thought, just so that you don't have to feel or think about it. And that's what resilience means. So when you're tolerating that emotion inside you, you're building the resilience to be able to accept it and allowing it to pass. Because you will, once you start tolerating it and observing it, you will come to a point where it just passes, it just vanishes from your system, and it just never comes back again. And that's when you know you've fully accepted something, after you've tolerated it on an internal level and built the resilience. And these are two very important differences between acceptance and tolerance. The third very important example of these two things is how you respond and how you react. So when you're tolerating something, you will realize that you've just reacted to a situation. So sometimes you might think that you've fully accepted and let go and detach yourself from the negative experience, the negative emotion from the past, or whatever is bothering you. But when it actually happens again, you just suddenly react to it rather than take some time and respond to it. And that is the third major difference, because what's happening is, even though you've accepted that situation fully, you have probably even let go of it. So it's not bothering you before you go to bed. It's not bothering you in your daily life. The thoughts are not coming. The negative emotion isn't there. But when that happens again, you don't have a response mechanism to it. So you've not built the resilience to it. You've probably just ignored it and purposely detached yourself from it. So instead of actually building the resilience and tolerating that feeling or that negative emotion in your body and in your mind, what you've done is you've rejected it and you've resisted the attachment for so long, and you've tricked your brain for so long to stay away from that experience or suppressed it so deep within that when it happens again, you automatically snap. You snap. And that's when you know you've only tolerated what has happened. You've not accepted it fully. Because if you've accepted something fully, the next time that it happens, you already have a response mechanism. And you will notice that when you start meditating regularly, when you start meditating every single day of the week, you will start building that resilience to tolerate things till the time you fully accept and let go. And it's a long cycle. It doesn't just happen in one day. It doesn't happen in a week. It takes sometimes months to build that tolerance towards negative experiences and negative emotions and thoughts. So these are the three differences between acceptance and tolerance. And it's really important for you to understand what stage you're at in your meditation practice. And once you understand that, you can accept it and you can recognize and acknowledge that this is the stage I'm at, and I need to make sure I build that resilience to be able to accept something fully and completely let go of it. So I hope this short video helped you, and if it did, please do leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or concerns, please do write to me. All my contact details are down in the description box. Take care and have a good week. Bye bye.